asked Storm. Physically, yeah. How much? How about as much as Newton? I don't want to answer that. I've known Newton a lot longer. Storm looked depressed and said, "I've never seen a girl as beautiful as you. I was on that lousy, stinking moon for over 50 years. There were no girls on it, none as pretty as you, or as nice. And when you beamed down with Newton and the others, when the cyborgs were killing everyone, man, you looked like an angel. I fantasized about you on that depressing ball of dust ever since. And tonight, Oshina, you were like a fantasy come true. I'll always cherish this night, even though we didn't go all the way." Newton felt sorry for Storm, but as he watched Sheena get dressed, he felt sorry for himself too. Felt sorry for himself also. When Sheena was fully dressed, Storm took her by the arms and asked, "Sheena, I'm still a virgin, even before I got this body." "Me too," said Sheena, and they started kissing and feeling each other out again. Newton then walked in and said, "Hi." The two looked very nervous. "She's really something, isn't she?" asked Newton. Yes, she is," said the embarrassed Storm, trying to hide himself. Newton stood there and watched Storm get dressed. He then looked at Sheena with a great yearning for her. She looked torn. Newton said, "You know, this spaceship seems to be getting smaller." "What do you mean?" asked Storm. Newton said in a monotone, "I think you know what I mean." The next day, Newton said, "Why don't we stop off on that planet over there?" And he and his crew beamed down on the planet. It was the planet Springtime. The planet was very pretty and appeared to be inhabited with people living back in the 1950s. The Mutani crew was shocked to see a planet that seemed to be an exact duplicate of everything. It seemed to be an exact duplicate in every way, but was a couple of hundred years behind in the technology field. The crew loved the planet because it was pretty, plus they were able to speak to the inhabitants with their universal translators. It was a wonderful place, and as they watched the sunset, Newton couldn't help but watch the sun shine through Sheena's hair. Newton laughed and said, "You know, I think I'd chuck Mutania and live on this planet if I could see the sun's rays shine through your hair like this." "Really?" asked Sheila. "I'm not kidding. I've been thinking about it, and you aren't going to believe this, but I think I've had it with space travel." Newton's crew couldn't believe what they were hearing. Newton then said, "I'm not joking. I mean, I have done everything, seen everything. I've done it all. I'm seriously thinking of trying out the normal, everyday life. Maybe settle down and have a family," said Newton, looking seriously at Sheena. "Are you insane?" asked Callisto. Before Newton could speak, Callisto said, "You would leave the greatest ship in the universe to live out a boring existence on a dull, old-fashioned planet? Only if Sheena could be my wife. How about it, Sheena? Will you marry me?" Suddenly, Storm broke in and said, "Sheena, you love me though, don't you?" Sheena looked quickly at Storm, then at Newton. She made an uncomfortable sound, then looked helplessly at Newton. Newton looked angrily at Storm. A few days were going